What was said at a funeral that you will never forget? My dad had a terrible childhood. His birth parents were the kind of people who had a ton of kids then didn't take care of them, so they all got adopted out. His dad had kids with I don't know how many women, like some kind of garbage Johnny Appleseed. Some got decent homes, my dad and one uncle did not. They got adopted by a relative who abused them in the worst ways. They grew up beaten, starving, neglected, actively abused. They became adults and left as soon as possible. Both my uncle and my dad had families young. I was first born, and when I was 10 we got word that my dad's dad had died and there was going to be a funeral. I had never met him and I don't think my dad and uncle had, either. But we drove several hours to attend the funeral. The time came to walk up to the casket and the three of us did, my uncle, myself, and my dad, and we stood there looking at him for a few moments. Then, my uncle reached out and touched the dead man's hand, nodded his head, and said, "Yep, he's really dead." My dad nodded his head and said, "Okay." Both let out a big sigh, and we left. They had driven several hours just to make sure he was really dead. Then we went out for something to eat and started the 4-hour drive home.